President Cyril Ramaphosa's international diary has been terribly busy. Here he attended the climate change talks in Egypt, and he made an appeal to the international community to fund the country's just energy transition drive.
Our continent will need a predictable, appropriate, and at-scale funding stream and technological support. This must support our right to development, international equity and transmissions that are just and inclusive.
And then he headed to Indonesia for the G20 summit to meet with the world's top economies in a bid to get desperately needed investments in South Africa. And he met with one of South Africa's top trading partners, China. Ramaphosa also went to Kenya, Nairobi, to have a dialogue with President William Ruto. That's when an announcement was made that Kenyans can come to South Africa without a visa from next year. But the leaders also focused on other critical issues like climate change.
Climate change is serious, but at the same time we need to make sure that the more developed economy countries that have contributed greatly to the climate damage should be the ones who carry the burden of making sure that the loss and the damage that developing economy countries like South Africa and Kenya are properly compensated.
Barely days after, President Ramaphosa was hosted by the British King Charles III. And this was a first state visit for the British monarch since the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. President Ramaphosa went to London with a cloud hanging over his head as the independent panel was seized with the Phala Phala saga. Even when he was in London, South African journalists never stopped asking the questions.
Going into if you're re-elected for your second term.
Yes.
How are you feeling ahead of that debate? And are you concerned that this matter may lead to your premature removal from office?
No.
Because of its seriousness?
No, I think I've put my case forward, and of course, let us leave it to that panel to come up with the outcome, and we cannot prejudge it. I can't, you can't, and we leave it in the hands of the panel. So they are best placed to deal with this matter. So any form of speculation really is misplaced. Let's leave it to the panel to report, and anything else that flows from that, we handle then. And we've proven capable of being able to handle issues as they happen, and so let's leave all that to that process.
The international media houses have also shown interest on this matter. And what are global implications for South Africa?
Well, South Africa is a moral compass, particularly in Africa. So when these kind of things happen, it's a disappointment. But at the same time, it's democracy in action, because South Africa has got this potential of testing this constant testing of shock absorbers, and they always respond. The fact that we have a president that has been investigated and has responded in the manner in which he responded.
The neighboring country, Namibia, has been embroiled in the Phala Phala saga after it emerged that robbers fled to Windhoek. But President Hage Geingob has maintained that he never did favors for President Ramaphosa. The international community is keeping a beady eye as the matter continues to develop. Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.